Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we've got our hands on a stack of source material that is, well, it's pretty unique.
It really
This
is.
isn't theoretical research. It's a deep dive right from the front lines of innovation. We're talking about the intersection where these cutting-edge early-stage startups, a lot of them from the Microsoft for Startups Pegasus program, are meeting massive, real-world enterprise transformation.
Especially in retail and commerce.
Exactly.
And that gives us a rare vantage point. I mean, we're not just looking at predictions based on market hype. We're seeing genuine signal. This is what companies are actually putting into their product roadmaps for, the next 18 months.
So our mission today is to cut through that hype.
Right. To distill 6 major interlocking technology trends that aren't just unfolding, but are, I think, set to define how enterprises operate by 2026.
Okay, let's unpack that because the context here is everything. The report makes it so clear that a major psychological hurdle has been crossed. Enterprises are, well, they're just done running these small, isolated AI pilots.
That's the core shift. The pace of change has just accelerated so dramatically that the whole conversation has changed. It's gone from, should we, dip our toe in with an AI tool, to something more like, how quickly can we redesign our entire operating model around this stuff? We're seeing concepts that felt like academic research just a year ago, things like fully autonomous systems, embodied reasoning, and they're being deployed at scale by companies like General Robotics and Omnistream.
So this is the moment the future stops being a concept and starts becoming a functional component.
Exactly. We're moving from concept to a fundamental systemic redesign.
And that first major trend, which really acts as the foundation for the other 5, is this shift from individual intelligence to what the sources are calling collaborative systems.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look back at 2024, maybe 2025, that was really the year of the individual AI agent.
Right. The single bot.
Yeah, the single bot that summarizes your meeting or drafts a report or automates one specific workflow. Very useful, but isolated.
But 2026 is defined by the fact that those individual agents are learning to work together in orchestrated teams. That's agentic AI.
So the value isn't in the single agent anymore.
No, the real value is in the coordinated reasoning and interaction of the entire group. It's the difference between a single expert and a fully synchronized team of specialists.
That concept is so critical. So how does this coordination actually look in a tangible business scenario, like retail?
Okay, so think about the complexity of supply chain management. Instead of one big monolithic system, you have a team of specialized agents.
Okay.
So one agent might be predicting future demand with incredible specificity. A second one is continuously evaluating your existing inventory and supply constraints.
And a third.
A third could be a specialized negotiation agent. It's seeking optimal pricing, the best delivery windows with your external suppliers. And maybe a fourth is just monitoring real-time financial risk and compliance.
And they're not just passing data back and forth, they're actively coordinating, maybe even correcting each other.
Precisely. The negotiating agent might get blocked by the risk agent if, say, the terms violate some preset compliance rule.
Wow.
And what's fascinating here is how the underlying infrastructure is adapting to this. A traditional software marketplace, like the Microsoft marketplace, is sort of transforming into an exchange of intelligence.
What do you mean by that, an exchange of intelligence?
Well, customers aren't just buying one big software package anymore. They're assembling these multi-agent ecosystems by mixing and matching highly specific capability.
So if I'm a retailer, I can go to this intelligence exchange, and I can combine a replenishment agent from one startup with, say, a merchandising agent from another.
And connect both of them to a computer vision system that predicts store traffic from a third source.
Yes.
That's the ambition.
That is the aha moment for you, the listener. This fundamentally changes how innovation cycles run. Instead of spending months on custom integration or long vendor negotiations, enterprises can assemble these incredibly complex, intelligent workflows in days or even hours.
Potentially, you start seeing system-level benefits immediately, instead of waiting years for a full-stack vendor to catch up.
It sounds like we're shifting the cost of innovation from integration time to the cost of the agent's intelligence itself.
That's a perfect way to put it. And that powerful collaboration, it immediately raises a huge question about control.
Right. When you have autonomous agents working as a team, making these complex decisions at machine speed, how do you know they're actually following the rules? Who checks the checkers?
Exactly.
And that leads us straight to our second trend, the quiet but essential return of blockchain and smart contracts.
The source material is extremely clear on this. Blockchain is not the headline here, but it is the necessary, invisible fabric of these autonomous systems.
The fabric, I like that.
As agentic AI moves out of pilot programs and into production, enterprises aren't just automating data analysis anymore. They're automating commitments, compliance, and verification.
Okay, walk us through the necessity there. If my negotiating agent gets a great deal on supplies and it authorizes a massive payment, what do I need to be sure of?
You need assurance that the action is legitimate, that the logic hasn't been tampered with, and that it's all fully auditable after the fact. When the decision maker is no longer a human but an AI, you just need a neutral, dependable layer underneath it all.
And that's where smart contracts come back in. They're not just for crypto anymore.
Absolutely not. They are re-entering the enterprise conversation because they are fundamentally rules that run themselves. When agents execute agreements automatically, triggering a payment on delivery, adjusting inventory terms, the smart contract ensures those rules cannot be silently changed by one party or quietly altered by a compromised system.
So the logic lives inside the contract, enforced by cryptography. It feels like blockchain has moved from being a speculative asset to just a foundational piece of infrastructure.
It gives enterprises the confidence they need to actually delegate mission-critical economic decisions to non-human systems. It makes that risk of agent misalignment manageable.
Okay, so now we have these digital teams that can trust each other. The next step is enabling them to actually interact with the real world, which brings us to trend number 3, physical AI.
Yes, the movement of that digital intelligence off the screen and into the physical world.
Showing up in robots, supply chains, intelligent stores.
And this shift isn't just a gradual improvement in robotics, it's more of a phase transition. It's enabled by several technological breakthroughs all happening at once. For years, robots were constrained by this complex, fixed programming.
Right.
Now we have new foundation models designed specifically for physical understanding and interaction.
You're talking about the models named in the source material, like Microsoft's Magma and NVIDIA's Isaac Grusseet. What do these actually let us do that we couldn't do before?
They enable two crucial things. First is embodied reasoning and sensor fusion, which is what Magma focuses on. It means the AI can interpret a chaotic physical environment, like a messy warehouse floor, by processing vision, tactile, and motion data all at once. It can truly understand the physics of that space.
And the second thing?
Grazer OT focuses on robotic generalization. So a robot trained to do one task, like pick up a box, can quickly adapt those motor skills to a totally different task, like stacking a shelf, without being completely reprogrammed from scratch.
It's the difference between a machine that can only run one program and a flexible worker that can learn new skills.
Exactly. And then you layer on top of that these new Gen AI-driven natural language interfaces for robotics. You don't have to write complex code anymore. A human manager can just tell a robot fleet, go clear aisle 4 using conversation.
And the robots can interpret that intent and just do it.
They execute the task autonomously.
Yeah. And this loops right back to agentic AI from our first section. The robot isn't working alone. It's now the physical arm for the digital team.
Absolutely. The robot becomes just another member of that multi-agent ecosystem. Digital agents handle the strategy, the reasoning, and the physical agents, the robots, provide the reliable action.
And the human role shifts again.
It shifts from doing tedious tasks to providing high-level oversight and judgment.
So the big idea isn't replacement. It's the complete vanishing of the line between digital planning and physical execution.
That's it. If the digital team sees a need, the physical team executes it instantly.
Okay, so agents are now interacting with the physical world.
Yeah.
But we've also touched on a limitation of traditional language models. They're brilliant at text and logic, but they don't have a sense of space or time.
Or physics.
Yeah.
Right, they live in a world of words, not dimensions.
And that's a huge problem for coordination.
It's a massive problem. If you have agents and robots moving around a physical environment, they need what the sources call spatial models, or world models.
Okay, what are those?
These models are designed to understand the geometry of the world, how objects relate, how gravity works, how people move, and, crucially, how a decision in one place influences the whole environment.
So they give the AI a sense of object permanence, a physical rulebook. Let's ground this with the retail store example. Why is a world model so necessary there?
Well, a retail store is maybe the most dynamic environment imaginable. Products are always moving, customer paths are unpredictable, conditions are shifting minute by minute.
Spills, congestion, shelf gaps.
All of it. A spatial model can ingest all that sensor data and interpret the layout, the foot traffic, the product placement, all in real-time context.
And this is the engine that powers the creation of digital twins.
That's right. Companies like Worlds.io are creating these high-fidelity live digital twins that mirror the operational store.
So by having a perfect, constantly updated digital map of the store.
Retailers can simulate changes. They can try a new promotional layout or reroute a delivery path and instantly see the impact on congestion or safety before they do it physically.
So the spatial model adds that missing dimension to AI.
Yeah.
It connects the thought with the physical action.
Mm-hmm.
And it ensures all the agents and robots and humans have a shared, accurate understanding of reality.
It stops the planning agent from telling the robot to walk through a wall.
Exactly. Okay, so we've covered the 4 technological pillars. Now let's see where they're converging most rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
Commerce, starting with the store itself, with this concept of RetailStoreIQ.
Mm-hmm.
This suggests the store is no longer just a collection of assets. It's an intelligent system that can perceive, interpret, and respond on its own.
Retail Store IQ means continuous self-management. It operates on this automated loop that's fueled by all the trends we've just discussed.
Let's break down that loop because the collapse in system latency here is key.
Okay, the loop starts with sense. Computer vision from platforms like RoboFlow and IoT signals capture raw data shelf gaps, customer congestion, spill risks.
Then interpret.
Right. AI models from companies like OmniStream ingest that data. They predict lines before they form, forecast labor needs based on traffic, and detect high-risk scenarios.
And the most transformative part is the last step, act.
Yes, because the delay between sensing an issue and acting on it is approaching zero. The agents take over.
So an example.
A sensor detects an empty shelf. A vision model confirms the SICU that's missing. An inventory agent checks the stockroom. And a labor agent instantly assigns the nearest available human or a robot from a company like General Robotics to restock it.
And that whole chain of events is automated and instant.
It shifts store operations from constantly needing human supervision to largely supporting themselves.
That's the new model for physical operations.
Yep.
The revolution is just as profound on the consumer side with what the sources call agentic commerce.
The shift from you manually searching for a product to you delegating a complex shopping mission to an agent.
And the scale here is immense. McKinsey is projecting that autonomous AI shopping agents could influence up to $1 trillion of U.S. retail revenue by 2030.
$1 trillion. We're moving into a world where consumer agents shop, negotiate prices, and transact on the customer's behalf. And they're often interacting with other brand agents or supply chain agents.
Which means brands have to radically rethink their strategy. It's not just about visibility in Google search results anymore.
No, it's about visibility and preference inside the AI agent's decision matrix. That's the challenge companies like Sonic are tackling.
And to support this agent-to-agent world, you need new infrastructure.
Absolutely. The source mentions Microsoft's Agentic marketplace, which is a simulation environment where brands can test how their products perform when negotiated by AI agents. And you see tools like NLWeb, a natural language interface that lets consumer agents understand any website.
Basically acting as the customer's personal automated browser.
Exactly. Your shopper agent has to rely on high-quality, structured product data, like from Harmonia, and it needs clear preference signals from tools like Prezi. Delegation just isn't possible without total trust in the data.
And to make that delegation work, the agents need to know what you want on a much deeper level. This brings us to our final interlocking trend, the evolution of personalization into intention understanding.
Right. For the last decade, personalization has mostly been backward-looking.
Recommending what I bought last month or what people like me bought.
It's all based on past transactions. It focuses on what you bought. But 2026 brings this ability to move past that history and identify what you're actively trying to achieve, your goal, your mission.
So it shifts the focus from historical data to real-time motivation.
And the input signals are so much richer. It's behavioral data, real-time context like your location, product intelligence, operational data. The system can recognize that you're not just buying yogurt, you're a runner seeking specific recovery nutrition, or you're a family planning healthy, budget-conscious meals for the week.
That's a huge distinction. Old personalization would just try to sell you the same products over and over. Intention understanding suggests new things based on your current goals.
And this changes the entire marketing paradigm. Instead of spending money on retargeting ads for what you looked at yesterday, enterprises can deploy resources proactively based on your predicted need today. Marketing shifts from reaction to anticipation.
And most importantly, this intention understanding is the fuel for everything else we've discussed. Without knowing the customer's goal, the agentic commerce system doesn't know what to negotiate for.
And the retail store IQ system doesn't know how to optimize its operations. It's the critical link that moves the entire ecosystem from being reactive to truly anticipatory.
So let's wrap this up. We've just done a deep dive into 6 major interlocking technology trends. We started with the foundational shift to agentic AI, secured by the trusted fabric of blockchain.
Then we saw intelligence move into the physical world via physical AI and spatial models.
And we saw those pillars applied in agentic commerce and retail store IQ, all powered by this new capability of intention understanding.
The signal is unmistakable. These aren't distant concepts. These systems are being built and deployed right now by innovative companies, and they are fundamentally reshaping the economics of how enterprises operate.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. This is the provocative question we want to leave you with, one that sort of synthesizes all 6 of these threads.
If the near future involves teams of intelligent agents autonomously negotiating prices, securing those deals with tamper-resistant smart contracts, and then physically controlling robots to execute those agreements across dynamically mapped environments, what layer of genuine human oversight is even left?
And who bears the ultimate responsibility when that fully autonomous end-to-end chain of events leads to a financial failure or even a physical logistical error?
Are we prepared for the liability structure of a world that's managed by non-human systems?
Something to mull over as you watch these technologies unfold rapidly in the next year. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.